we're going to talk about idioms. Do any of you know what an idiom is? And I'm sorry you can't hear me very well. I kind of have a frog in my throat.
You're okay.
What?
Have you ever heard that phrase before? A frog in your throat? Do you think I really have a frog in my throat?
I hope
I
not.
hope you don't.
So that is the form of an idiom. An idiom, I'll give you a definition here, is an expression that cannot be understood from the meaning of its separate words, but that has a separate meaning of its own. An idiom is a phrase or a fixed expression that has a figurative or somewhat literal meaning. So when I said a frog in my throat sounds kind of funny because I have a cold, so it just sounds kind of raspy like a croaking frog, but I don't really mean I have a frog in my throat, I just mean I have kind of a funny sounding voice. So that's what an idiom is. So as you're conversing, since you're now in an advanced English class, and I know you want to progress in your English, because you want to look for jobs and do different things with your English skills, you're going to find, as you converse with people, as you read different newspaper articles, commercials, cartoons, they're going to be full of idioms. And so there are going to be phrases that you might be thinking, what does that mean? So this will help you if you come across something you don't quite understand. Thank goodness that you can always go to our good old friend Google and find out what it really means.
That's true.
So I'm just going to give you a few examples, and it's interesting because every language actually has different idioms in them, different things, different funny phrases that people will use to make an expression. Let's see, all right, so for our first activity to just kind of help you out, I have a few scenarios that I am going to, first of all, I'm going to read you a scenario, and I want you to listen for the idiom. And then I'm going to give you the scenario, and I will read it again, but you can follow me and read it to just kind of help you see it a little bit better. Okay, because along with learning English, one of the skills that we're working on, that we've been working on a few weeks, is our listening skills. Because listening is a very key thing as you're listening to the news or if you're taking a class. That's a very important process of learning English. Okay, so here we go. Hey Eli, do you want to shoot me some hoops, Josiah asked. Nah, replied Eli. Well, do you want to help me work on my bike? You fixed yours, so maybe you could give me some ideas, Josiah said. Not today, said Eli glumly. I need to drop some books by the library. Do you want to go along? We could stop for ice cream on the way home, Josiah suggested. No thanks, Eli sighed. What's the matter? Are you down in the dumps? Asked Josiah. Okay, that's the end of the scenario. I know that's kind of hard because you don't have it in front of you. Did you hear anything strange that might have been an idiom? I'll give you a clue. It was near the end of the scenario. So let me read the last few phrases again. He asked if he wanted to go for ice cream, and then Eli said, no thanks. And then Josiah said, what's wrong? Are you down in the dumps? What do you think? Did you hear anything that might sound a little bit unusual?
Is he in like the dump with like where the trash goes?
That's what you would think, huh?
Yeah.
So do you think he really meant, are you in a trash can? What do you think?
I hope not. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So what do you think he could have meant if he was kind of feeling sad? What do you think down in the dumps? So it doesn't literally mean that he's in the trash can. So what do you think he might have meant?
That he's feeling yucky, dirty.
Very good, Jessica, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you think down in the dumps, because, a trash can is kind of dirty, yucky. But yeah, these
Maybe thrown away.
I hadn't thought about that before. Okay, I'm going to give you, since you guys kind of answered that already, I'm going to give you another scenario, and I'm going to, this time, I'm going to read it to you, and since we're missing one of our students tonight, sisters, can you work as a group together.
Yeah.
And then Stephanie, I'm gonna have you,
Okay.
oh, I don't know why, I'm sorry. I'm calling you Stephanie and it's Jessica, and I know that, I'm sorry about that. Okay. All right, so this one, okay, I'm gonna read it through and you guys follow along and see if you can find the idiom. Okay, Brittany had just moved to a new school and she was nervous about her classes. Since social studies was her hardest subject, she decided to take her book home every night to study ahead. One day her teacher, Mr. Sanchez, announced, "We're starting a new unit on inventors. Does anyone know who invented dozens of uses for peanuts?" Brittany looked around. Everyone in the class seemed puzzled, so she slowly raised her hand. "Yes, Brittany," Mr. Sanchez called. "It's George Washington Carver," she answered. "You hit the nail on the head," Mr. Sanchez exclaimed. So what do you think the idiom is? It's kind of gives you a clue because you've got that picture there. What do you think the idiom would be in that situation? Sister Ashcroft, do you have an idea?
But when you said you hit the nail on the head.
Okay. So do you think when the teacher said that to Brittany that he really meant that they had a board with a nail in the classroom and she had hit it?
No.
Okay, so if you look at the context, they were talking, she had answered a question, and he said, "You hit the nail on the head." So what do you think he meant with that comment?
Like, you're like exactly right. You got like right, you hit it. Right on it.
Awesome. That's awesome. Good job. So does that, have you, do any of you have you ever been in a conversation where you've heard an idiom? Have you ever heard have you ever heard the phrase, there's many idioms that you'll hear every now and again. There's a phrase that's called, "It's raining cats and dogs." Have you ever heard that phrase before? Have you heard that?
Yeah.
And so, have you ever wondered what it's meant to rain cats and dogs? Have you thought, that's so strange? It's not raining cats and dogs. And so what they're really saying is that it's just raining really bad. It's just a crazy rainstorm, but it's not really raining cats and dogs. So I am going to divide you up in groups. I'm going to give you each a different scenario, and I'm going to have you look over your scenario. And Jessica, I can work with you. So sisters, I'm going to have you look at this scenario, and I want you to read through it. And we're going to give you about a minute to look through it, and then we're going to have you get up and act it out, okay? And then we're going to try to figure out what your idiom is that you're talking about.
Okay.
And then Jessica, I'll come and work with you here for a minute. And yeah, so I think they want to hide it, but maybe not really under. Just don't let it run right now. All right, sisters.
Yeah.
Do you want Jessica and I to go first, so you can see if you can hear our idiom?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Which one
Jessica.
are you going to be? Okay.
There we go. We'll see if we can figure this out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Keep this. Where?
Actually, I might have. Here, I have another one,
Okay.
so that'll work. And I have. Let's see which one you guys have on you. That might be easier if you guys use the have you both have a copy. You don't have to pass it back and forth.
Yeah.
So let's see. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Allison. Wow, where did you get all that money?
Oh, I've been saving for a long time. My mom gave me some money for playing with the baby, and then I just got some for my grandma for my birthday.
Wow. What are you gonna do with it?
Oh, I don't know yet, but I do know that if my brother finds out, he'll want to borrow some. So keep it under your hat.
Okay. All right. So the end of the scenario. So what do you think? She said something in the very end.
Keep it under your hat.
Yeah. So if you look at this picture, It shows her stuffing all the money under her hat like she's trying to hide it. But do you think she really, if that's how she's going to keep her brother from finding it out? Or what do you think keeping it under your hat might mean?
Like secret?
Yeah, exactly. Like keeping it a secret. She's going to be hiding it, but she's going to be hiding it by not telling her brother. Just keep it under your hat. Shh, it's a secret. Very good. Thank you. All right, sisters. Let's see. So you don't have to read the whole thing. You can kind of just read bits and parts of how you want to do it.
Okay.
I can barely lift my backpack. I have to study for a math test. My report about the Constitution needs to be typed tonight. We have a concert coming up, so I have to drag my trumpet home. I have to answer all the unit questions for science, and I have 9 more chapters to read for my book report. And the worst part is, my favorite TV show is on tonight, and I won't even have time to watch it.
Aaron and Sherry found. Look at our backpacks, Quincy. We go to the same school and we have the same teachers. We're in the same boat too.
What do you think, Jessica? What did you hear them say?
Unless they're at a sailing school, I don't think they're really in a boat.
Okay. So, according to the scenario, what was happening there?
They both had a lot to do.
Okay.
Equal amounts
Okay.
in the same scenario.
Okay. So they, by being in the same boat, what do you sisters think?
It's like they're kind of like in the same situation, going through the same thing.
Exactly. Very good. So when you hear something strange, thank you so much. We'll wrap this up. When you hear something strange, something you quite understand, you have to really listen for the whole context of the story. So our class time is up. Thank you so much. You did great. To conclude, I just want to encourage you to go home and I want you to Google idioms and it will give you a list of idioms and I want you to choose 5. And I want you to come back and share. I want you to write down 5 sentences or think of something that you can use those idioms with and I want you to come prepared to share with us what you found so we can continue to open up our vocabulary of what an idiom is. I hope you have a great week. We'll see you on Monday.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.